Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to this very exciting segment. It's exciting. Why? Because it is our 49th episode. So the 49th episode of the weekly travel updates with Tanvi Goel of Oz India Travel. Tanvi, once again, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Amazing. Thank you, everyone, for such an overwhelming response. I'm really so grateful to Amazing Australian Radio and to you guys as well for pouring so much love and sending us really amazing questions. I have added some extra questions this week as well, and happily we have immigration, agents, friends with us as well who are really helping many of you to resolve your queries. So I'm going to touch base a little bit on that as well. Before we go ahead, just a little disclaimer that any discussion we have today is general information only. As you know, individual cases may change, rules and regulations can change anytime. So please make yourself updated, and whenever you fly, just make sure that everything you know up to date.
And that is very, very important that, we take into account that what we discuss today is of general information and individual cases will differ. And of course, it is advisable that you seek your personal advice related to your personal circumstances. And once again, so that's right, because it is very exciting and we've got lots to go through today. There's lots of updates. So sit tight and make sure that you listen carefully to all the segments that we're going to be discussing today. So then number one, first of all, who can fly from Australia to India at this point in time?
Okay. So before I go ahead for that one, guys, I just want to mention that I just heard that yesterday there was an earthquake in Australia, in Victoria, New South Wales, ACT, everywhere. I hope you all are safe and sound. If your travel is affecting or your place is affecting, please do let us know. Flight-wise, there is no problem. Everything going smooth. But maybe, I have seen there were some, a few things and few people were affected with that. So I hope you all are safe and sound. I have some big news as well this time as well. So first of all, many of you asking, about whether 17 December borders going to open or not and what exactly happening with that, whether, the exemption might go or not. So just to give you an update, guys, at the moment, it is, yes, been announced that 17 December, international borders may open or maybe with restrictions. Many of the airlines, like we informed you last week as well, that have already added their schedule to go, overseas to different destinations. Qantas came up as well, which I'm going to, inform you a bit more in detail in the international part. So everything so far looks really going smooth, and I'm really very optimistic that it's going to start. And of course, you definitely have to work on the vaccination part as well, which our government is always keep encouraging everyone that if you go up to 80%, the chances are more that things can open. So I think it's our responsibility as well at the same time that we reach up to 80% vaccination. And everything can open up. Next thing about the exemption, guys. So exemption also looks like might not be, might not have to apply it after 17th December. So, but it's not really in written so far. So if things goes well, it may go. But at this stage, if you're planning to fly, up till, let's say it's 23rd today. So if you're flying up to 23rd, you can apply your exemption because your exemption is valid up to 3 months. But yeah, after that, it depends. But I would say whoever is going within 3 months, it's good to apply exemption rather than waiting for the next announcement. Now, who can apply exemption? Who can go from here? It's all Indian citizens on tourist visa, temporary visa. You all can go. You don't need an exemption. Just go from here. And also the spouses. I think that's a question being asked last week by a couple of you. That spouse visa, I would say you are the luckiest ones. You don't need any exemption to go from Australia to India and India to Australia as well. However, I would still recommend to double check in case you have any kind of different visa categories in spouse visa from India to Australia, to double check whether you are eligible for that. But if you are a spouse of PR or citizen, you got the green card to go both ways, pretty much all sorted. Now, Australian citizen and PR can also go to India, but you guys have to apply for exemption. Exemption is basically for someone going for the sickness of family members, especially parents. Number two, if you're going for 3 months or more, if there is unfortunate death in family, or if you're going to bring your minors back. So in all these categories, you guys can apply. Exemption turnaround is around 2 hours to 10 days, depending on the critical situation you have. If you have to go really on emergency for something in family, then you can, sometimes they give you a couple of hours as well. And happily, I have seen many people get on weekend as well, guys. So that's possible. And I have an after hours number as well. In case you guys an emergency, you can always let me know. I can give you emergency numbers. But I always request, please use those emergency numbers if it's definitely an emergency that you have to go after hours or, on weekend. Now, also the New Zealand citizens, we mentioned touch base a little bit on that as well. I have seen many New Zealand citizens, they didn't need any exemption from here and coming back as well. But while coming back from India to Australia, you have to prove that you actually stay in Australia. So you have to prove your residency, maybe address or something, when you're coming back from India to Australia. So pretty much everyone have option to go from here, from India to Australia, but on emergency circumstances, unless you are going back to your country.
Okay, yes, and that is very, very important as well, because we're looking at New Zealand opening soon as well. That will be very, very interesting. Well, okay, now looking at taking into account all those scenarios, and if people are looking and following all what is being said there, what are the flight options from Brisbane at this point in time?
Okay, so first of all, guys, from all Australia to India, there are plenty of flights from all main cities of Australia to all main cities in India. Mainly Emirates and Qatar is flying. I have already explained the difference between both. Pretty much they all are doing well. Right now, Emirates fare really goes very crazy as we close to the date. I can see like 3 days from now, pretty much you can see only business class, which is around 6,600 or something like that. So yeah, I would say if you have decided, you definitely have to go. It's good to book your flight as soon as possible, because flights are coming with flexibility, but fares are really going crazy because there's so many people flying for Christmas, for for Diwali as well. Because some people working from home and they're thinking better to just go home and spend some time there. And also people thinking that the border is going to open. So if they go now, they can come back easily, maybe first quarter of the next year. So right now, the travel outbound from Australia to India is really a little bit high, and fares are going crazy as well, just for your information. But fare-wise, from Australia to India, it's around $1,000 to $1,300 approximately fare. Australia to India, doesn't matter which city you're going from. Perth is the cheapest option. And Brisbane and Sydney, pretty much you can see the same price. But yeah, close to the date, it hasn't been crazy. Let's go to Brisbane first. So Brisbane, we got at least 4 to 5 flights a week. Emirates and Qatar, middle of the month. So next group we have from Brisbane is on 17th of October. That's on Friday, the Emirates flight. But we have Emirates flight every Tuesday, Fridays and Sundays. I generally recommend from Brisbane, Friday Emirates flights are more reliable options because that got connection to even the smaller airports as well in Dubai and India. So next available flight is 21st, 24th, 25th and 26th September as well. And Qatar flights are Tuesday, Thursday and Saturdays, which means 21st, 23rd, 25th and 28th of September. So plenty of flights from this.
So there's plenty of flight options here from Brisbane, which is a good news. Well, take a look at Sydney now next up. So what are the flight options from Sydney at this point in time?
So from Sydney, again, plenty of flights. Emirates flying Tuesday. Generally, they fly Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and some Sundays as well. So flight is 23rd, 25th, 26th, 28th. And Qatar also flies on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, and Sundays, which means you have pretty much 5 days covered in a week, and there are plenty of flights from Sydney.
So we got Sydney covered, and it's good to see that there's a lot of flights from there as well. Well, Melbourne, what we were talking about before, and I too, like to put my condolences there for the earthquake that happened there. But right now, what are the flight status from Melbourne at this point in time?
So Melbourne got quite a few flights as well, so at least 3 to 4 flights a week. Emirates got on every Wednesday, Fridays and Sundays. And Qatar got on Monday, Tuesday, Fridays and Sundays. At least 5 weeks, you have 5 days a week, you have flights from there. So next available 24th, 25th, 27th, 28th, 29th. So pretty much whole week you have flights. So plenty of flights.
And moving on from Melbourne, let's go to Adelaide, South Australia. So what's happening there? What's the flight status from Adelaide?
So from Adelaide, I really recommend to go with Qatar because Qatar goes with one stop. Though generally their stops are 9 hours or 13, 14 hours, but that's still good to, rather than taking 2 stops. So Qatar got flights on Thursday, Fridays and Saturdays, which is 23rd, 24th, 25th, mainly flights. And Emirates, generally we connect via Melbourne. So dates are same like we told you for Melbourne as well. So Wednesday, Fridays and Sundays, we connect from Melbourne, the Adelaide flights. But there are plenty of flights for sure.
So that's good news there from Adelaide as well, with enough flights happening out of there as well. And what about Perth? I know you mentioned that, flights to India are cheapest from Perth. So what's the flight status from Perth at this point in time?
So Perth got Emirates flight every Thursdays, Fridays and Sundays, and Qatar flights Monday, Fridays and Sundays, which means there are 4 days you have flight from Perth. But guys, I have seen there are many people connecting flight from Perth. So last week there were really prices gone really high from Perth as well, though they generally start 999. But the smaller airports people can get easy connection to Perth because Perth flights are cheaper. That's why they sold out quick as well. So once again, I would say flights are really a lot these days, but if you have decided you're definitely going, it's good to book as soon as possible. But relatively right now.
And of course, booking early and booking as soon as you know that you're going is but we always leave it to the last minute, don't we? Well, right now, moving on, let's see if what's the update from India to Australia at this point in time?
So India to Australia, there are really not many flights available right now. So mainly you can have just a Malaysian Airlines charter, I think available just on 22nd or 29th of October. And that fare also any place from India to Australia, basically they have, you can do quarantine only in Perth in that case. And then we can connect you from Perth to anywhere in Australia. So that fare is around $7,000, which you can take. But once again, that fare is non-refundable, non-changeable. If you need to change it, so please book only if you're 100% sure that you're going to do that. Otherwise, the Indonesian charter, which seems coming on 29th of September, that was a reschedule from 9th to 29th of September. There may be a couple of seats left, but fare is really extremely high, at least $10,000 for that one. So, and once again, that's non-refundable, non-changeable. So if it's important for you, then they are doing some bidding as well on those flights. You can always let me know, and I can try to get you fast as possible on that. Other than that, there are some last-minute Japan Airlines flight coming close to $9,000. Air Nippon, which is short form is ENA, Qatar and Emirates. So there are quite a few flights, like 6 flights, which are coming from India to Australia, but they all have a very low availabilities. And because of reduced number of caps, the fare, are really very, very crazy, I would say right now. So, and DFED might have a next lot of flights as well. They might release the next couple of weeks, so you might stay tuned for that. But that's only for Australian citizens, PR, and their spouses and kids, not for the temporary residents. So keep that in mind as well, because sometimes people just, get the link from somewhere and they pay it, and later on it's cancelled. So I would say please check all the rules and regulations before you do that, and they are all invite only. It's not like your friend gets the link and you book it, and because later on you will be opt out, which probably it's not a very good idea. So guys, options are definitely less, but it's not impossible, I would say. Situation seems might get better in the next 2-3 weeks. So if you like to send your expression of interest, you can always send us. You can jump on our website, which is www.aussienatal.com.au, and you can send us a request. There is a form. There is a callback section as well, where you can write your number and send us back. You can send me on WhatsApp your details, and we can pre-register, and there is no charge. There is not even a single cent you have to pay. It's just by keeping your details, we'll have all these handy, and whenever anything comes up, we can contact you fast as possible, and we would know exactly what you need. So, and the form-wise, we have discussed last week as well. It's pretty much the same. You can check the last one. Most important thing, if you're coming from India to Australia, is the Australian Travel Declaration Form, state declaration form, and these are really very, very important, and RT-PCR test, which is 48 hours prior to departure. If you need a checklist, I will send you all the checklists as well, which I am, and Umesh ji is very fond of as well. So I have a checklist: India to Australia, Australia to India, exemptions for everything, Anything you guys need, feel free to ping us and we can send you those free checklists. Amazing.
Yes, wonderful update there. So looking at in our travel there we have looked at, what about nationally? So what are some of the things that people could be doing nationally? Anything exciting? I know, school holidays coming and there's lots of things. So, what's the exciting things nationally that people could be doing?
So nationally, guys, there's a lot. Literally, I have to capture the very important ones, which I thought you all should know. But really, there's a lot to go today, which I'll go definitely for now. First of all, there was a new survey conducted recently by a Play Travel, which has revealed that Queensland is going to be the most desired state for the holidays for all the Aussies, gathering around 53% of the votes out of 1,100 people. And New South Wales is the second in line. Around 10.2% people said they like New South Wales, and after that falling with the Western Australia. So a study also found that the next trip will be mainly for the families, but I would say it's really, really exciting to know that Queensland is on the top, and more than 50% people said that Queensland, they want to really travel to Queensland when everything opens up from all other states. So really quite exciting and nice to know that. Next from the Gold Coast. So Gold Coast has launched a $3 million Play Money reward program in a bid to stimulate the recent visitors economy, and there will be 60,000 vouchers given out to eat, play, enjoy the best region has to offer. So Destination Gold Coast said the vouchers will be given to the locals each time they spend $100 or more, with more than 1,200 businesses participating. So guys, it's really very, very exciting. Like we always tell you, I think it's pretty much in the last 4, 5, 6 months, we are telling you that every state got some voucher programs. All the government states, they want to encourage everyone that wherever it's safe, please do travel. We do support the economy and the local suppliers as well. And it's really quite exciting that you guys will be getting the bonus at the same time. So yeah, please look out for that. Next is from Northern Territory. They have now got another domestic campaign offering vaccinated Aussies who decided no on hotspot discount will be getting discount up to $1,000 per person. So partnering with Hello World, and they got the Australia Holiday of Australia, and there are so many other local and big companies involved where whenever you guys book anything, so Northern Territory is basically offering the savings on flights, accommodations, tours, attractions, vehicle hire, and they have got a set of discount around $200 for every $2,000 spent on any new booking. So they'll be going to do that from 1st of October onwards till 31st of March 2022. So you guys have this nice 6 months, and it's only school holidays and Christmas is coming along. So if you think it's really safe to go around in new Northern Territory as well, then it's definitely going to save you lots of money. They have put their details on northernterritory.com on their website as well, which you can go through. But don't forget that word. This is for the vaccinated Aussies. So if you're vaccinated, then only you can get that. There are so many other programs which you can do without vaccination. But I really like and appreciate Northern Territory government to come up with the vaccinated Aussie program. Next is from Tasmania. So Tasmania government has extended the time for travelers to redeem their vouchers. So that's again for the vouchers. A lot of goodies around you, and that's issued under 7.5 million tourism scheme. Just one second. And the 2,500 state residents who receive the voucher now have until 31st of October to use those voucher designated to support the local tourism. And the previous round of vouchers generated an estimated 27.5 million in addition tourism spending. So it's really, really amazing to see that many states have so many different programs and the vouchers which you guys can take. So definitely a good idea to take advantage of that. Next is again from Tasmania. So the luxury collection hotel in Tasmania called Tasman, they have opened their doors to the public now from 1st of December, and they got a luxury property of around 152 rooms. They are luxury property in Hobart, and they are featuring around 1940s deco interiors, premium en-suite restaurants, multiple bars, and a view of the city with waterfront. And it's really extraordinary property which was not available for public things before. but now they're going to open from 1st of December. So you guys are really welcome to really, enjoy Tasmania, and maybe, those locals and find there, you can take advantage of the vouchers as well. So definitely you have to check whether for this particular property you can use voucher or not, but I think still it's a good idea to check out this. Next is from Rex Airlines. So like we informed you before that Western Australia, Qantas, they all are increasing all their staffs to get vaccination. So this time Rex Airlines also came up and said they are following and making it mandatory for all their frontline staff to get vaccination done. All the Rex customer-facing employees will be definitely required to fully vaccinated. And right now they are giving the target up to 1st of November and 2 weeks really ahead of Qantas event in Australia, because they mentioned 15th of November they're going to fully vaccinate all their staff. And the Rex says they want to do it till 1st of November, which is great. The news as well. Next is from Fraser Island. I think we discussed a lot about Fraser Island in the past as well, and I myself really love, especially Kenzie, the little beach they have. So this time there is a bit of news, and you might not be able to call that Fraser Island anymore because the Queensland government recently accepted a proposal to rename Fraser Island name following a successful campaign by the Butchula Aboriginal Corporation. The states to make a new change to Kagari, I don't know whether I pronounce it right, but that K apostrophe is Gary, are currently underway. So Queensland Environment Minister said with the local indigenous inhabitants as well that they're planning to change that. So very soon we might have a different name for this brand. Just for your information that you might see it's different. Next is from Green Island. So Green Island Resort, situated off the coast of Cairns, has announced its temporary closure following a prolonged period of limited booking. The property owner confirmed that tourist attraction would be closed at least up till travel restriction ease, and sitting New South Wales and Victoria is at a primary source market for them. So if you have booked anything for the Green Island in Cairns, please make sure, especially Green Island Resort, make sure they're closing for now. And you might, that email already from them, but please check it out if you have that. Other than that, guys, if you are in a city, there are plenty of options going, and you can visit our website as well. I have plenty of tools on the website which you can buy on spot, and there are heaps of discounts also happening. And at the same time, government is giving a lot of vouchers as well, there are thousands of suppliers who are participating in that. So I would say stay safe and stay home and keep moving around the nation. There are so many exciting things.
Wow, Tanvi, that's so much that we can be doing right here in our own backyard. So look at, all these things that can be done nationally. So it's amazing. And that Green Island close-up, that's a little bit of a thing. It's a temporary close-up, as you've mentioned. But, another beautiful place there. And the Fraser Island, the name change, well, of course, that's been on the agenda for a while, back banner, but it's coming on. Okay, so right now, moving on with the show, let's take a look at international scene and see if there's any interesting updates on the international scenario.
So internationally, first of all, let's probably start with Qantas. I think that's the question being asked by so many people throughout the week, because there were news popping up that Qantas is going to start and whether it's book or not. So let's start with that. So Qantas continue to make plans for a pre-Christmas return to international flying, with mainstream media and frenzy over hopes that biosecurity emergency declaration will not be reinforced when it expires on 17th of December. So they already got the flights in there, and it's totally up to you whether, if you see those flights, they want to book or not. But just remember, in past also, it happened that, we got some date and it was extended because of, sudden restrictions and things. So, but at this stage, they're definitely starting the departures to London, Vancouver, Los Angeles, Singapore, from both Sydney and Melbourne. So there are flights available, and also they're adding Tokyo and Fiji on top of that from 19th of December. So flights are available, but all we have to see is whether, if they're going to fly and what's going to be done. And also Qantas said will operate if the ban is lifted, and packs should be double vaccinated. Remember that. However, the carrier has also previously revealed that it will not fly if the capacity is restricted, and which may be the case if the quarantine requirements are not relaxed as well. So there are quite a few things, with those bookings, but at this stage they are open for booking and flexible as well. So yeah, but you have to definitely decide whether you want to take those flights or not. If there is no other option, definitely. Next is from New Zealand. So Air New Zealand flights basically opened their flight a few days back, and they were literally sold out 180 seconds. So that's quite interesting. I thought I'll let you guys know. So they opened the flight to fly from to Australians, fly Australians in New Zealand, and they were sold out just in 3 minutes. And the airline said it was only located for a very limited number of seats and was currently in discussions with the Australian government as well that they can add extra capacity. Like Umenshi also mentioned before that New Zealand can open, and that's what we are expecting as well, that it can open anytime. But yes, I would say those. I know there are many of you who have put your tickets on hold as well. I myself booked many people in June and July when it was all paused, and your flight is on hold at the moment. So yeah, you can definitely tell us or wherever you booked your tentative date, and we'll keep looking for that and come back to you. Right. Next is from Bali. So we heard that Bali might open as well for your excitement. Maybe in November, maybe in 2 months, we might see Bali's open. So, but once again, that's for fully vaccinated passengers as well. So, the fully vaccinated passengers are definitely increased, and Bali's authorities are revealing the plans to open as well their borders to the same countries from October. They're saying. So, for Australians to join the Bali safe list, it will need at least 80% of the adult population fully vaccinated. So once again, guys, I'm repeating this thing once again. The vaccinated travelers who are double vaccinated and the full population, 80% is very, very important for us to go to Bali as well, which is our kind of our next backyard. People go on weekend as well. So Bali is very close to open, provided we have the vaccination. And next step, we can say the Fiji is next step closer to. So Fiji has undertaken another important step towards accepting international travelers again with a 60% vaccination rate is that for population to reinstate restart a domestic travel. The domestic flight between Suva to Nadi will be the first to resume, and then ease restriction to Vitilu also flagged by 4th of October, they said, paving the way for Fijian citizens to take a holiday. So domestic wise, they are opening things at the moment, but if things goes well, then after Bali, we might take Fiji is opening as well. So that's really quite exciting too. Next is from airports. So there are many airports who are going under construction. Lot of changes happening. We discussed with you guys before as well, and this time we came across this news, and I thought I'd share with you. So the major airports stand ready to facilitate international travel, with the Australian government investing around $64 million in security screening requirements for the reborn. The Australian Airport Association, they said the International Airport Security Charges rebate program will enable airports to support the government's reopenings. So very soon we might see in all the airports there will be more screenings, more different places, and so some of them have already started doing that as well. So that's really great news. Next is from IATA. So IATA has described the US decision to allow vaccinated travelers to enter with a COVID test report prior to travel as a very major forward step for the global travel sector. So the Biden administration has also indicated that inbound travel will be sanctioned from around from November. The marks a key shift in managing the risk of COVID-19 from the blanket consideration. So at this stage, looks like the vaccinated travelers are increased all around the world to fly. Some countries have already opened them, and IATA is supporting all these things as well, which I think should be mandatory for any country to make everyone. Next is from Emirates. So I think that's really quite exciting news. So what's the next one which I'm going to tell you, because that really gives us hope. So Emirates currently seeking around 3,500 employees to support its relaunch of wider operations. So guys, I know there are so many of you and so many people who lost their job before because things were really, kind of closing down. But I think that's a really excellent news that our friends, outside, they can get their jobs back, and it's really indication that things are opening up. So the campaign aims to recruit around 3,000 cabin crews and 500 airport employees to join its Dubai hub over the next 6 months. So candidate interested, they can join there. But I just want to tell you guys that's really amazing that if they are the staff, there will be more flights, there will be more options, charter fares, and things will open up. So thank you to Emirates for doing that, and really looking forward to it. Next is from Hilton. So Hilton has extended the status of members of its Hilton Honors loyalty program through until 31st of March 2023. So while existing points expiration are also paused until the end of the next year. So other changes, they're going to reveal or going to relax in 22 status as well. But at this stage, they just extended their loyalty program up till 31st of March. That means your points not going to expire. You guys can still. So they really have amazing properties and doing lots of changes in their hotels. So apart from Hilton, there are so many other hotels also which we keep telling you guys. So all I'm trying to say, guys, all the airlines, governments, hotels, all other suppliers, they all are trying and preparing for the for the new normal, I would say, post restrictions. And I think after 16th of December, this year, this Christmas, definitely going to bring the good news. But let's be really a good person, be a good citizen, do your vaccination done, and let's reach to the 80% target so everything can open up. So this is really the main objective.
Yes, you rightfully mentioned, let's do our part as well, so that, we are good and responsible citizens, so that, all these restrictions can be opened up earlier. Well, there's quite a lot that you have explained. There's quite a lot, and quite interesting to see, Fiji coming in there as well. As we know, a small island nation, but they had quite a number of the cases there as well, per capita, because of the less number of people there as well. So the numbers, great. Well, right now, what are the tips that you would have for people now, taking into account everything that's you have just discussed?
So the tips would be, guys, first of all, I heard many people, and I have seen many people recently, those who are not aware that if the child crosses 2 years, you have to really pay 80% of the total amount. I recently brought some triplets as well. They just came up to Australia 3 days before, they are turning 2, and you won't believe they saved $20,000. Just because the international fare from India to Australia is around $7,000, and they came up as an infant, and they saved really big money. So all the parents out there, if you are flying and your child is going to be 2 very soon, and you definitely have to fly, I would say try to fly before they become 2, because that means you are going to save at least 60% of the fare, and especially from India to Australia, it's a lot. So $5,000 to $7,000 difference would be if your child turns 2 or the child flies. That's what will be the biggest tip right now. And guys, as I always mentioned before as well, if you have booked any domestic flight, Emirates or Qatar from Australia or from India as well, please don't forget to do your wrap check-in. Sometimes airlines does, prepone the flight or postpone the flight, so you must know about all that. And if you're going to Maharashtra, don't forget that you have to get a double vaccination certificate with you, even you're going back to your own country. If not, you should avoid that airport and go to somewhere else. Otherwise, they are putting people on forced quarantine, which will cost you minimum $5,000-$6,000. Sorry, $500-$600, not thousand, 500. So around 30 to 40,000 rupees is you're looking at for 7 days quarantine in Maharashtra. And also, when you go from here, make sure, please, you fill all the forms. Please read the emails carefully as well, which we send it to you or someone else send it to you. I mean, the checklist, I send it to every single person, ask me for that, or it's whoever we book. And I've seen so many people just don't bother to open that email, open that checklist. I still call everyone one day before, whoever, deal with me, to make sure you have done. And I found recently, at least 60 to 70% people don't open that checklist as well. When I call them day before that whether you have done all that, and they are like, we were not aware, even though we tell people before as well that these are the forms needs to be filled, and we send the checklist and then we check again. So please make sure you check all the documentation you were asked to fill that, and do it beforehand, because I've seen so many people hanging on airport as well. Airlines is waiting for them to fill the forms because they don't want to leave you guys. This is, I would say, is really not right, that if you were asked to fill the forms, it's really a lot of hassle. Airlines staff is also going through a lot. It's not easy time for anyone they are there sitting, risking the life to send you back home or wherever you need to go. But I have seen so many people were really very rude with the staff as well over there. And I think I really want to request you all. We understand that you are in emergency and you are stressed, but putting your stress to someone else, it's not good as well because they are there to help you. So please make sure you fill all the forms before you leave. So your COVID test must have passport number. Doesn't matter you're flying from Australia to India or India to Australia. These days, from last 6 weeks, airlines is not allowing anyone to fly without having passport number and COVID test report. Please remember that because name and date of birth or age is always there, but passport number is a new thing added. And many people were left out in last couple of weeks as well because the passport number was not there. So if you have not seen anything or if there is anything you want us to add on, please let us know. I'm definitely happy to help you. You can send us a expression of interest as well, as like I said before. And those who are sending their parents, you can always send them in a group if you think they are stressed out. And if there is a longer haul, I highly recommend you guys to book that Dubai International Hotel and go with Emirates because those hotels people are really helping everyone a lot. There's a meal options there as well. And they help you with the wheelchair, going to the hotel and coming back. Very, very convenient for the parents. So guys, if you like this episode, please share with your family and friends. We have 48 episodes there as well on all the social media platforms, on Australian Indian Radio, Chantex Media, Brisbane Indian Times, Australian Oz India Travel. And this is the 49th episode. This one also you can share. You can send us questions. If you click the link on the share button here, there will be a copy link section, and you can just copy that link and send it to all your friends on WhatsApp or Facebook, Messenger, wherever you can. Please spread the word because it's very important that everyone be aware what's exactly happening in the travel world. And we come back to you every single week with all the updates. If you like, you can please share with all the family and friends on your wall as well. And I would also recommend you to join the specific Facebook groups. If you're stuck in India, then Australian Stuck in India Facebook groups are there that you can attend, that you can join for daily updates. And you can like our page as well, Oz Indian Travel, Indian Stuck in Australia. There are heaps of groups. And for the students as well, there are some groups which you can join. So there are enough information available, but just don't get confused. And very, very important, don't get stuck with the scammers. There are so many people promising you that they'll send you tomorrow or day after, they're taking money out and there's nothing available. And there's so many people calling you to give you credit card details, that we're calling from defect. So we're listening all these things as well. It all happens only in the desperation. So people can see those who are stuck in India, they're desperate to come back. So that's where the scammers really becomes more active. So please be very, very careful because it's not a small money. They're talking about thousands of dollars, $5,000 to $10,000 flights from India to Australia. So please be very careful. You can check with me as well in case you are still interested in things happening. I can give you exactly if that's possible or how the situation is going. So other than that, everything is fantastic. I hope you all are happy, safe and sound. And let us know if we can add anything in this episode. And always joyful and amazing to meet you guys every week on this video. Thank you.
And thank you very much, and special thanks to Tanvi for providing all that information for everyone's knowledge. And as he has mentioned that please do share this on and make other people aware, because this is of community interest. It is of information nature. So it is information sharing, which is beneficial to everyone. Whoever's deciding on planning or thinking of traveling, all these points and tips will come in very, very handy. So once again, Tanvi, thank you so much. The 49th episode, next one will be 50, the big 50.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.